Welcome back to Collinsville High School as we have another good matchup here. Second part of the doubleheader pits the Collinsville Cardinals men team versus the Lady Cardinals. As we get started off again, the against the Ridge Runners. Of Grove. As my mind's thinking back to the Lady Cardinals game. We just watched the Lady Cardinals just really take it to the Lady Ridge Runners here tonight. In the first game, we're looking for about more of the same, hopefully, for the boys tonight. Talk to me about what you're expecting, some of the big players tonight, Logan, for this game.
Well, for the Collinsville Cardinals, it's going to be Seth Boomer and Sean Kacheski. Sean coming off a 19-point performance at Oologah versus Oologah, and Seth Boomer just really been the key offensive player for the Cardinals, always getting things going. For the Grove Ridge Runners, it's going to be number 10, Justin Sanders, and number 21, Will Amos.
We've got some big things expected from both of those guys. We see big things from the Cardinals so far since our last broadcast. They've gone through, had a good showing in the Oologah tournament, and as you mentioned, Sean Kacheski, a big reason for that.
Yeah, they placed third in the Oologah tournament. Probably should have beat Pryor, didn't play the best, and so third is something that you're not used to seeing from the Cardinal team, so that's really good to have them come out and hopefully they can carry over the momentum and win this game. Grove coming off a win versus Miami, who is the 15th ranked team in 5A. Collinsville, the 16th ranked team in 5A. They are 7-4 this year. That's tied for the wins that they had last year, and there's 11 games left, so they're exactly halfway through the season, and the Cards are looking for double digits.
All right, as we have the starting lineups brought to you by Rogers State University, Body Coach, All Red Hardware, Bigfoot Prints, RCB Bank, That's My Bank, and JTeamDesigns.com. For the Grove boys, as already mentioned, we have Justin Sanders, number 4, Brady Phillips, number 15, Sam Pagels, number 21, Will Amos, number 23, Joe Carlson. For the Collinsville Cardinals tonight, a little bit of shake-up, the smaller lineup for the Cardinals. We have number 11, Sean Kacheski, number 12, Riley Wilt, number 14, Austin Archer, number 21, Seth Boomer, and number 30, Kagan Hodges.
And he was out versus Oologah. He is back, and he is in full form.
He's in full form, getting the tip-off, and gets it into Archer. Archer back to Boomer.
And Grove already in a 2-3 defense, and so we'll see if the Cardinals can work their offense.
Wilt back to Boomer. Gets it into Kacheski down low into Archer. He's going to take a wide open 3 shot, and that's in and good. So Archer starts off pretty hot. And that's number 10, Sanders, as you already mentioned, down the lane. Phillips. He's going to bounce pass it down low to number 21, Will Amos. So a lot of movement there you see from the Ridge Runners. They're going to move around, try to get the ball to Amos, and he turns and makes a quick 2 shot. Back to Wilt. Wilt takes his dribble, gets it up to Boomer. Out to Archer. Back to Boomer. Back to Archer. Archer takes a drive, tries down low, comes back out, kicks it back up to Boomer. Gets it into Kacheski. Kacheski turns, back to Archer. Back to Boomer. Boomer gets picked by Sanders. Some nifty defense there. And it looks like Sanders, as he's driving the lane, he gets fouled. And that's going to be a quick foul on number 21, Seth Boomer.
We don't need him picking up early fouls, being our point guard. And I believe he's the leading scorer for the Cardinals.
Sanders with a quick move and a quick drive, draws some foul, but he misses his first shot. Chance to tie it up here on the second. Off the front of the rim, and that's in and good. So in the early stages of this game, it's all tied up at 3-3 between the Cardinals and the Ridge Runners of Grove. Boomer swings it into Wilt. Wilt looking for Kacheski. Kacheski turns. Gets it back out to Wilt. Wilt's going to take a 3-point shot, and that's just off the mark. Long rebound, Kagan Hodges. Kagan Hodges out to Boomer. Boomer left alone at the top. He just in and out. And that's a rebound to number 15, Sam Pagels. Pagels gets it out, and Sanders will take the ball down the court for the Cardinals, or excuse me, for the Ridge Runners, defended close by Kacheski. Down low into Amos. Amos makes a quick move. He's off the glass and in and good. So the Boomer-Amos matchup looks like it's going to be back and forth all night long.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a better job at making sure he doesn't have a lot of their points. They're going to have to try and slow him down.
Archer turns and takes a shot, and he equalizes it there. So some quick offense here for both teams as they're both setting in to how they want to run this game.
Some good defense by Sean Kacheski, picking up full court.
Yeah, he's frustrating Sanders, not letting him allow the pass that he wants, but eventually he gets it in to Carlson. Carlson gets it back to Sanders, gets it up to Pagels. He swings it to Phillips. Phillips back down low to Pagels, defended by Kagan Hodges. He kicks it out, long catch and three, and that's off the mark. Rebound, Archer. Archer into Wilt. Wilt with it deflected, and that goes back to the Ridge Runners, Carlson. And we have a foul as Wilt's trying to get the ball back. And it looks like he'll pick up his first, and the Ridge Runners will set up their offense with an inbound. Sanders gets it in to Phillips. Phillips back to Sanders. Sanders, Pagels, Carlson. He drives the lane on Archer, pulls it back out, gets it back down to Pagels. Pagels kicks. Carlson pushes off, and it looks like they're going to call that as he tries to set it up. Wilt came in to play some pretty good defense, and Carlson gave him a full forearm shove there, and he picked up his first foul of the game. So it's almost like the physicality where the girls left off is where the guys picked right up.
Yeah, and Grove already in a full court press, trying and force Collinsville to take a quick shot, but they're going to slow it and bring it out.
Boomer's going to set up the offense, gets into Archer. Archer turns, he takes a shot, and he's got a quick 4 points. So right there at that high post, Archer's really been damaging the Ridge Runners.
Yeah, and he's got all 7 of the Cardinals' points, so he's really come out and he's ready to play.
Some good defense there, some help defense by Archer on Amos, and he's going to take the ball down the court, put up an off-balance shot, and I think it was tipped. Looks like there was a lot of contact, no foul called, but it's tipped and it's going to stay white. Have a quick conversation here by the officials. And Coach Anderson's not sure what's happening right now.
He's saying it either has to be white ball or there has to be a foul. They can't give it to red. And so the officials are going to talk it over, and they do give it to white.
Boomer looks to take a drive, kicks it out to Wilt. Wilt takes his dribble, gets it back out to Boomer. Boomer down into low to Hodges. Good catch by Hodges. Turns, gets out to Boomer. Gets out to Kacheski. Back down low to Hodgins. And it looks like we're going to have, trying to figure out exactly who this is on. I didn't see it, but a foul down low. And that's going to be a foul on Pagels. Kacheski gets it in. Quick shot by Wilt. Wilt is in and good. So Wilt with that 3, he now picks up the first points for the Cardinals that wasn't by Archer. And he doubles the score of the Ridge Runners. Amos out. That's Phillips, up the court. Try to get it to Amos. And Boomer picks up his second foul of the game, trying to keep Amos from getting that ball. They're going to get him with a hold.
So that's going to be his second. And Coach Anderson's going to trust him, and he's going to switch him. And so hopefully Boomer doesn't pick up a dumb foul.
And that's number 15. That's Dylan Miller, number 11, checking in the game for the Ridge Runners.
And they go zone.
And that leaves Carlson open. He's off the mark, Rebound, Archer. Boomer with the ball, defended hard by Carlson. That's Kacheski just off the mark from the corner. Rebound, Ridge Runners. Sanders takes the ball down the court for the Ridge Runners. Carlson dribbles, kicks it back out to Sanders. Passes it down low to Miller. And before Miller's able to take a shot, we have a foul on Kagan Hodges there with a quick hold down low. Sanders tries to get the ball out to Carlson. Kacheski with a quick move, but just hits it a little bit too far, and it's going to be back to the Ridge Runners.
And Bailey Stamper will come check into the game for Seth Boomer. They don't want him picking up a third foul, or that'll force Coach Anderson to sit him for the rest of the half.
And then the Cardinals come out real quick in a full court press. Carlson takes the ball down the court for the Ridge Runners, gets it into Miller. Good block by Kagan Hodges, but the rebound goes back out to Carlson. So some quick defense there, some good hands by Kagan Hodges, not getting that, getting that second foul, but also affecting the shot. Amos tries to drive the lane, and he traveled before he even moved. And it's going to go a quick turnover back to the Cardinals. Kacheski to inbound, gets it into Archer. Archer back to Kacheski. And the Ridge Runners go all the way back. They want to set up their zone early. Kacheski up to Stamper. Stamper looks to pass, gets it in to Kacheski. Back to Stamper in the high post. Back out to Archer. Flips it into Wilt. Wilt gets it down low to Hodgins. Hodgins double team, tries to take a dribble. Looks like we have, I don't know what the official's calling here, jump ball. And that's going to go back to the Ridge Runners. So a quick double team there on Kagan Hodges, and he's just lost the handle on the ball, and the Ridge Runners are coming down. Sanders. Gets into Carlson. Carlson. Back out to Sanders. Sanders defended close by Wilt. Gets it into Amos. Amos kicks it out to Miller. He's off the mark. It's into Carlson. Carlson tries to get back down to Amos, but good move by Wilt there to defend. And the Cardinals have the ball back. Kacheski takes the ball down for the Cardinals. Tries to get into Stamper. And a good defensive effort, but out of bounds there on Phillips. That's number 3, Tommy Horton, checking in the game for Carlson. He's getting his first minutes of the game.
So Grove's still in their zone, trying to get the Cardinals to take quick shots, and Cardinals trying to stay patient.
Zone changing a little bit as the help comes across. Good pass in there from Wilt to Archer. Good job for Archer to go up and get it. Wilt in the corner, takes his dribble. He's driving. He puts up a shot, but it's off the mark, but he's fouled. That's going to be just a little bit too much body there by Brady Phillips. And it's going to be 2 shots for Riley Wilt. First shot's off the mark for Wilt. Logan, as we mentioned, where the girls' physicality in that game dropped off, the boys just picked right back up. And we've already got the boys in the bonus for the Cardinals.
Yeah, the boys are doing a really good job at attacking the basket, and they're not going to back down from anything. So they're going to keep playing physical. If Grove wants to push, they're going to push back. And so far, you see, like you've said, a really physical game.
Amos with a nifty move there in the lane, and he's able to lay it in. A little off-balance finger roll there. It makes it 11-7 with a minute to go left here in this first quarter. As Boomer takes the ball down the court, gets it to Kacheski. Boomer dribbles, gets it out to Stamper. Stamper takes his dribble, gets it back out to Boomer. Boomer up to Archer. Archer turns. He's going to take a three-point shot. He's just off the mark. Long rebound, bounces around, and ends up with the Ridge Runners, and Sanders takes the ball down the court. Sanders to Horton in the corner. Sanders back to Amos. Amos looks to drive the lane, passes it to Miller. Miller looking to get it to Amos, tries to get it out. Stamper defending. Back up to Phillips, back to Sanders. Swings it to Amos. Amos moves left and then right, and he travels. And Coach Trimble is not too thrilled about that, as he's halfway on the court talking to his guys, trying to tell them, hey, you need to be smart with your offense. We can't have these turnovers.
So Grove going to pick up, send one player to pick up full, and they're going to drop him back now.
Vickers checks in the game for his first minute of the game as Wilt takes a seat.
And they're going to hold it for the last shot.
10 seconds. Gets into Archer. Archer with the hot hand. He takes another three-point shot just off the front of the rim. Rebound, Miller. Miller with 2 seconds, 1 second. Pulls up, puts a shot up. That's off the mark. So at the end of an exciting and physical first battle with a lot of fouls and some points for both teams, it's 11-7 at the end of the first quarter, and we'll be back after this.
In as little as 12 months, with a diploma from Spartan College, you could have a career in aviation and beyond. At Spartan, you don't just study airplanes, you're surrounded by them. Some 40 at our flight campus, another 20 at our technology campus. This is a college where you can pilot planes, repair planes, learn everything there is to know about planes, inside and out.
And we're back with the exciting game so far tonight. A close one, a tough battle from Collinsville and Grove, the Ridge Runners tonight, down 7-11. If you're Coach Trimble right there, what are you telling your team? I mean, right before the end of the quarter, he was out on the court telling them, hey, we got to quit having these turnovers. What's he talking to them about right now?
Well, Collinsville shooting the ball pretty well, and they're only down by 4 points, so he's got to be happy with that. But, yeah, like you said, they've had some silly turnovers on this end, and they need to cut those down. They can't have turnovers if they want to stay in the game.
And if you're Coach Anderson, are you still talking to your team about patience? Are you still preaching patience against this zone, or are you teaching, solid passes? What are you working on right now in that break?
You want to make sure they take the best shot available, so be patient, work the defense, get them to get a little bit lazy, and that's when you attack them.
Boomer looks to drive, kicks it out to Kacheski, back down into Wilt. Wilt into Vickers. Vickers just a little over his fingertips, finds its way to Miller. Sanders takes the ball down for the Ridge Runners. Wilt defending. Gets it into Phillips. Phillips takes his dribble, finds it around the lane. Good defense by Boomer there, and that's off the mark. But another foul here. That's a foul on Kacheski off the rebound. And just like that, Kagan Hodges is in the game, and Vickers takes a seat. Sanders to inbound, gets it into Miller. Miller catch and release. That's off the mark. Rebound, Kagan Hodges. Boomer. Looking to pass it out to Kacheski. Kacheski trying to get it into Wilt, takes his dribble, passes it into Wilt. Wilt at the high post, swings it to Archer. Archer's going to drive. And he puts up a right-handed shot off the glass, and that's in and good.
So 9 points on the night for Austin Archer.
Archer really showing up tonight, in a lot of different ways. He's been in the high post, turned and made a few shots. He made a three-pointer, and now he's driving. So you see a lot of good faces there. That's another good defensive play by Sean Kacheski as he picks the ball, and then some little bit miscommunication there, and they turn the ball right back over to the Ridge Runners.
And that was one of the keys to the game, was they need to have some transition buckets, and you see there have like you said, miscommunication and a turnover.
Horton gets the ball to Sanders. Sanders back to Horton. Swings it to Amos. Gets it up to Phillips. Back out to Horton. Swings it to Phillips. Back to Sanders. Tries to get it down into Amos, and that's off Amos's chest. It looked like Kacheski defronting him there, just may have deflected enough that Amos wasn't expecting it. And that's another turnover for the Ridge Runners.
A good defensive possession there for the Cardinals.
And the Cardinals look to continue to attack this 2-3 zone that the Ridge Runners are operating on. They own a little bit of height on the Ridge Runners right now, but not being able to exploit that as they try and dribble through the zone. And Boomer loses the ball. Good defensive play there by Phillips. Horton tries to force it in. It's off the foot, but Miller ends up with it. Phillips gets it out to Miller. Miller drives, kicks it out to Horton. Horton drives, puts up an acrobatic shot, and that's up and in and good. And the bucket. And that's going to be a foul on Archer. his first of the night. And with that foul, Archer's going to take a seat, and Boomer and Vickers and Stamper are going to come in the game for the Cardinals. And with that made shot, Horton now brings it to a one-possession game. It's 13-10 with 5.5 minutes to play in this first half. And the Ridge Runners come out with a full court press. Hodges turns, looks to shoot. That's off the deflected, I guess. Back to Hodges, kicks it out to Wilt. Wilt puts up a sky shot, and that's in and good for 2.
So that's 6 points on the night for him.
So what does it say about Coach Anderson's squad if he's able to, early in the season it was all Boomer, doing all the offensive production, and now we see Archer coming out, Kucheski last game, and Wilt tonight. What does that say for their team moving forward?
It shows they have a lot of weapons and teams that want to we saw in the tournament, teams want to box and one Seth Boomer. They have kids who can step up, and if they want to box and one Boomer, then we'll attack with Kucheski, Wilt, and Archer. And we have Stamper off the bench. So there's just a lot of weapons this Cardinal team has.
A big block there from Miller on Vickers as he didn't see him coming. But that sets them up to give Wilt another shot, and he drains it. So now Wilt pushing for double digits as he's got 9 points. And the Cardinals open up the game. It's now 18-12 with 4.5 minutes left to play in this first half. Tough pass there from Horton, but it makes it back to him. Amos. Phillips gets it to Miller. Miller back out to Sanders. Sanders shoots, and he answers with a 3 of his own. Brings it back to a one-possession game, 18-15 in favor of the Cardinals. Hodges turns, kicks it back out to Stamper. Stamper collects it. Swing to Kucheski after a slip by Sanders. Wilt's wide open. He shoots a 3, and that's in and good. So Wilt with a little bit of a hot hand right now. It's the first player for the Cardinals into double digits with 12 on the night.
Good job there, ball movement, and they're doing a good job at finding their shooters. Wilt's hit a couple shots, and so they're going to get him the ball. Archer's hit a couple shots. They found him.
And the Cardinals themselves go to a 2-3 zone to try and give a little bit of the business to the Ridge Runners. Miller kicks out to Sanders. Sanders has to switch hands in the air, but it looks like it's going to be just enough to draw the foul on Vickers.
And the Cardinals are doing a really good job on the offensive end at just, like you said, being patient, which they're doing a decent job, but they're just getting open looks, and they're making Grove pay for staying in the zone. If Grove wants to stay in the zone, Coach Anderson feels confident enough with the shooters we have that they can knock down open shots, and they're almost daring them to go to a man defense.
So with that foul, Kucheski takes a seat. Kucheski, Vickers, and now Stamper takes a seat. As number 23, Ethan Davis, Austin Archer, and Seth Boomer check back in the game for the Cardinals. Second shot's no good. So Sanders misses both of his free throws, and it keeps it 21-15 in favor of the Cardinals. Quick foul there on number 3, Horton. And it's going to be inbounded by Ethan Davis. Boomer takes the ball. It's into Wilt. Wilt finds an open lane, tries to drive, blocked by Amos, but it's going to be out of bounds on Sanders. So if Ethan Davis getting his first minutes of the game, we noticed that early in the season he was kind of strictly a JV player. What has he done to find his way into this game? What is Coach Anderson seeing him right now?
Defensively, he is one of the best defenders on the team, so have him in on the defensive side of the ball, and he'll attack and he'll drive teams, and that's another reason with Collinsville hitting shots, it makes Grove spread their zone out, and that'll be easier for them to attack the basket and get layups.
Shots just off the mark for Boomer. Now Boomer's playing some defense on Miller. Miller puts a shot high off the glass, and that's in and good. Boomer takes the ball down the court for the Cardinals as they set up to attack this zone. Wilt into Hodges. Hodges turns, kicks it into Archer. Archer with a three-point shot, and he's in and good. So Archer opens it up to a 7-point game as it's 24-17 in favor of the Cardinals, the home court Cardinals.
Just a funny statistic. There's only 2 players that have scored for the Cardinals. That's Riley Wilt and Austin Archer. They each have 12 points.
And speaking of Wilt, he gets a good rebound right there, snatching the ball away from the Ridge Runners, and gives the Cardinals another chance at offense. Archer finds Horton up in the air, and he slaps him in the hand, and another foul on Horton. So Horton will take a seat, and Joe Carlson will come back in for the Ridge Runners.
15 foul.
Davis to inbound, gets it into Archer. Boomer. Boomer to Wilt. Wilt to Davis. Davis back to Wilt. Wilt back to Boomer. Boomer to Archer. Archer with the hot hand, drives, fadeaway jumper, and that's it and good. So Archer is answering Wilt's points now, and he's got 14 to Wilt's 12.
That's a really tough shot. If he can knock that down, you know he's having a good night offensively.
Carlson with the ball, getting his first minute since he had early foul trouble. Swings it out to Sanders. Tries to get it to the corner. Good play by Archer. He goes to drive, and that's another 2 points for Archer. So Archer doing it on offense, doing it on defense, and Coach Trimble's seen enough of number 14. He calls a timeout and tries to get his team back in this game, as it was 21-17 just moments ago. Now it's 28-17. What have the Cardinals done to just really open this up right before the half, make it an 11-point game?
Well, with them knocking down shots on the perimeter, like I said earlier, it forces Grove to spread out, and they have to honor the shooters. So when they spread out, Collinsville's guards are smart enough to know that they can drive right by them, give them a pump fake, get them up in the air, and then attack, and they can slip it or they can kick it out to the shooter on the opposite side. They're doing a really good job at that. With Archer has 16 and Wilt has 12, both 2 players on the wing, it just keeps forcing. And watch this next offensive possession, those wings are way out there. They're almost matched up with the guards on the wing.
So we've got good offensive and defensive play from Riley Wilt, who's come on in this game, and Austin Archer, who's shown flashes of greatness on offensive and defensive, both on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball.
And usually you see Seth Boomer getting into the mix, but he's been silent tonight, but he's getting these players open shots. He's attacking, getting 2 guys to guard him, then kicking it out to these open shooters. So he might not be on the scoreboard, but he's doing more than you think.
And they're going to give Riley Wilt a seat here for the end of the first half as they let Sean Kacheski back in, who's played some great defense of his own. Miller looks to inbound, or looks to get it there. Just didn't travel. Gets it to Carlson. Swings it to Sanders. Sanders looks to take a 3, defended well by Davis. Gets it out to Carlson. Carlson, again defended by Davis. Gets it out to Miller. Miller to Phillips in the corner. Phillips back to Sanders. Sanders drives right. Gets it up to Carlson. Carlson looking to pass. Sanders. Miller. Miller back to Phillips. 25 seconds left to go in the half. Gets it up to Carlson. Carlson. Keep the ball. Get it out to Phillips, who gets it back to Amos. Sanders to Carlson for an open 3. He's off the mark. Rebound Archer with 10 seconds left to go. Archer swings it to Boomer. Boomer drives. He's off the mark, but he draws a foul from Amos.
Heads up play there, knowing how much time is left, and driving to the basket to get a layup, and he's fouled. So he'll go to the free throw line, and he is one of the best free throw shooters on this team. We'll see if he can knock these down.
And his first is good, and that stretches this to the biggest lead of the game at 12 for the Cardinals. Boomer attempts his second. That's in and good. So a 13-point lead for the Cardinals as they're up 30-17 with 3.1 seconds left to go in this first half.
And a heads-up play by Coach Anderson, subbing Seth out of there so he doesn't pick up a foul.
And that shot from Sanders is off the mark because he's had a rough first half. And we go into the halftime 30-17 in favor of the home team, the Collinsville Cardinals. This is Cardinal TV. We'll be back right after this.
In as little as 12 months, with a diploma from Spartan College, you could have a career in aviation and beyond. At Spartan, you don't just study airplanes, you're surrounded by them. Some 40 at our flight campus, another 20 at our technology campus. This is a college where you can pilot planes, repair planes, learn everything there is to know about planes, inside and out.
And we're back here at halftime. We're here with our special guest tonight. It looks like the Cub Scout group, Collinsville Tiger Cubs. It's always nice to start, give them some recognition, some of the younger kids out here, and that'll fuel some of their passion as they move forward and become some of the basketball stars of the future.
They were able to come in before the game, and they got to go hang out with the players down in the locker room and meet some of them, so I bet they're really excited.
Yeah, and they've got some good fans up there in the stands waving at them, moms with cameras, making sure their kids smile. And they get a chance to be front and center court as young guys and really get to enjoy this moment. And as we're talking about things we're enjoying, we talk about some enjoyable surprises, I guess. Not really surprises, but some great play from guys who've stepped up in this game, and Riley Wild and Austin Archer. What are some of the things that they've... Oh, we missed the Go Cardinals chant. But what are some of the things these young men have done to really make sure that the Cardinals are not only in this game, but have now almost stretched it to double the score of the tough Grove team?
Well, Austin Archer and Riley Wild are knocking down shots. I don't think Riley might have missed one shot, but he kind of passes up some shots. But tonight he's being really aggressive, which I know a lot of the players are happy to see. And then Austin Archer, who came out and had the first 7 points, and that's good for him. He hadn't struggled, but he's kind of been silent on the scoreboard. So for him to come out and have 16 already in the first half, that's good. And hopefully him and Riley Wild can feed on to that, and then we can have some other players step up. You saw Seth Boomer have 2 free throws for his first points on the board tonight. But this is a good game for teams will scout us and they'll realize in the previous games, Riley Wild 5 points maybe, Austin Archer he 10 points, but for them to really score like they have just shows how many weapons they have.
And we see a good game plan there as the Cardinals look to attack the zone, the 2-3 zone of Grove, who's had a successful season of their own, as you mentioned. One of the top teams having a 7-4 season. So they came in here expecting to kind of be physical, kind of push around the Cardinals a little bit, show a little bit of speed, a little bit of passing, and then great defense. So how have the Cardinals been able to overcome that zone?
Well, when you're knocking down shots, it looks really good against the zone. That's what you have to do, is you have to make shots. If you don't make shots, that zone will really get to you. But one thing they've been doing a good job is they've been trying to get it into the post. Kagan Hodges, they've got it to the high post, and that's getting it to the high post really breaks down the zone because it forces them to collapse, and the whole zone gets sucked in, and that's where we've got a lot of the open shots. Is the whole zone gets sucked in, and then Sean Kacheski or Bailey Stamper or Austin Archer, who have been at high post, have been able to throw it out. But earlier in the game, you saw Austin Archer catch it at the high post, and the zone stayed out on the wings, and he was able to just turn around. And he has 4 points at the high post, and so they start to have to honor that, and that's where we've got open shots on the wing.
So we see some good offense and good defense there by the Cardinals going in the first half. If you're Coach Anderson, you've seen some positive things, and really a lot seems to be going your way as far as shots dropping. You've got some good production from guys, and Boomer's even his distribution skills have been really good tonight, and not a lot of turnovers. What do you tell your team at halftime right now? What do you talk to them about? How do you improve on this first half?
Well, hopefully I know the Cardinals have knocked down some three-point shots, but they can't come out and just fall in love with the three-pointer. They still have to attack the basket, get it into the post for slip drills. They still have to run out in transition, but he's got to be happy with how they're shooting the ball. Defensively, only allowing 17 points. They're on track to only allow 34 in the game. That's great defensively. So if they can keep that up, then that's good, because if you don't make shots, your defense really has to show up, and if they can come out and play like they did defensively the first half, then they should walk away with the win.
What's the rationale behind Coach Anderson's decision to go from zone to man as you've seen him do it a few times here in this first half?
It's just to switch things up, get Grove to think, and maybe get him to freak out and cause a quick turnover. And sometimes it's matchups. Maybe when we have Vickers and Kagan in the game, he goes to the zone, maybe has a different look. He just does stuff to kind of throw Grove off.
We've seen some of the Grove players. To mention one, Sanders. He's usually a really good player for him. He handles the ball well, but he's even had frustrations on both sides, and he's missed his free throws as well. What do you look for from him coming through the second half?
Well, the Cardinals, Sean Kacheski's been picking him up full court. Riley Will picking him up full court. They've really been frustrating him. That's why you see he hasn't really been able to get in a rhythm this game. Every time he drives, he's been played physical tonight, and so this second half he's going to have to get in some kind of rhythm. Being one of their key players, they really need him to perform this second half if they want to come back and compete.
And their other player, Amos, he had a lot to say early on. He had an early 6 points, but then really was just shut down. So what did Coach Anderson do to shut down Amos and his quick speed off the dribble and his easy lay-ins and the different things he's done to really help out this team?
Well, earlier in the game, they were getting up and pressuring him too much, and that's why he was able to drive around. And so they've taken a step off, and they're daring him to shoot. They're making sure he does not drive, and that's really slowed him down. He hasn't showed that he wants to shoot a contested jump shot.
And I'm Randall Dolan. That's Logan Wilt. We're just recapping that first half. We want to recap our sponsors real fast to help us bring Cardinal TV to you tonight. Rogers State University, Body Coach, RCB Bank, That's My Bank, JTeamDesign.com, Bigfoot Prints, and All Red Hardware. Once again, we thank those sponsors for allowing us to bring this broadcast to you in the first place. We've got 2 minutes left to go before we see this second half, and we're hoping for some excitement on both teams. We've seen the Cardinals get hot. We've seen the Ridge Runners get hot, and we'll be back right after this commercial. Your break. You're watching Cardinal TV.
In as little as 12 months, with a diploma from Spartan College, you could have a career in aviation and beyond. At Spartan, you don't just study airplanes, you're surrounded by them. Some 40 at our flight campus, another 20 at our technology campus. This is a college where you can pilot planes, repair planes, learn everything there is to know about planes, inside and out.
And we're back ready to watch we've already seen an exciting first half. We've seen an exciting first game for Collinsville fans. And so far, the first half of the boys' game has been owned by the boys. A little bit back and forth there at the beginning, but in that second quarter, they opened it up, and it's now a 13-point lead in favor of Collinsville. And once again, Logan, tell us one or two players specifically who helped the Cardinals get to where they're at right now.
Well, I'm going to say Riley Wilt and Austin Archer, them having 28 points combined, but Seth Boomer's done a really good job at distributing the ball, getting it to the open man where they've been able to step in and take an open shot.
Sanders with Wilt defending tight. Tries to get it to Phillips. Phillips recovers and swings it back to Sanders. And it looks like the Cardinals have come back out in their man defense, trying to frustrate the Ridge Runners with just switching it up back and forth. And the Ridge Runners trying to get it down low early, try to distribute to Amos. Amos is off the mark. Long rebound into Phillips. Phillips who loses it to Archer. Archer with some good defense, and he drives all the way down, just off the mark, though. I think that's his first miss of the game. And Sanders takes the ball down the court for the Ridge Runners. Out to Carlson. Carlson down low to Amos. Amos with Hodgins defending, just gets it over his fingers for their first 2 points of the game. Boomer takes the ball down the court for the Cardinals.
It looks like Groves switched up to a man defense, something that you wouldn't expect to see.
And Boomer takes early advantage of it, drives, he's just off the mark, rebound Amos. And the Ridge Runners are running. Amos drives, and no shot. And that's a quick foul there on number 30, Kagan Hodges.
I'm going to call him for a block.
That's his second foul of the game. And Coach Anderson will keep a close eye on how he's playing so far. And a quick foul again by the Cardinals, and that's Boomer's third. So that's tough sledding there for the Cardinals, as they're now in foul trouble with 2 quick fouls there out of the second half.
Yeah, and that's not good to see. Ethan Davis is going to come in and check in for him after this free throw. But so Boomer's going to go to the bench, and that's going to mean Sean Kacheski is my best bet to have to take over the point guard position.
So Ethan Davis checks in. Pagels makes his first, and just like that, it was 30-17. Now it's 30-21 as he makes both his shots.
So Collins will kind of come out slow. We'll see if they can get something going here.
Well, it's just a few missed shots there. I mean, Archer's missed a layup there, and then Boomer missed on his quick drive, and just like that, they just got it back within striking distance. You're right. Kacheski takes the point. Wilt with the ball. Wilt back to Kacheski.
Grove's now in a 1-3-1 defense.
How does a 1-3-1 differ from that 2-3 that they were playing earlier?
Well, they're going to have one guy up top, and then three across the middle, and then one on the bottom. So that'll force Collinsville to go to a 2-guard front, and then they're going to have to attack from there.
And it looks like attacking is just what Archer did as he goes in, drives in, and draws the foul on Pagels. And that's Pagels' second of the game. Archer, his first is up and in and good for the first points for the Cardinals in the second half. Archer's second rims out, and a tough rebound there by Amos of the Ridge Runners. So Grove in the red jerseys with the white numbers coming from left to right this half. The Cardinals with the white jerseys and baby blue numbers coming from right to left. Pagels tries on Hodgins, throws a shoulder, spins, hits every part of the board, and off the mark into Archer. Gets it to Kacheski. Kacheski gets it to Wilt. Wilt into Hodgins. Takes a dribble, tries to shoot off balance. It's off the mark, off the high glass, and that's another quick foul on Pagels. So Pagels, who's playing a little bit physical in this half, he picks up his third foul, and it looks like Miller's going to check back in the game, and he played most of the first half as well.
So you see the Cardinals start attacking the zone. My worry was they come out and fall in love with the three, but it's been the total opposite. They've attacked. I don't think they've shot a three yet this half.
And just like that, the Cardinals extend their lead again to 11 as Miller checks back in the game, and Pagels will take a seat.
Boomer at the scores table.
Hodgins second is up, in, and good. And Wilt will take a seat as Boomer checks back in with those 3 fouls on him. Full court, or Ethan Davis is going to full court press Sanders at least. And it looks like that's how they just, Miller with the floater, that's off the rim, and the bank is open for Miller as he banks it in and good to make it a 10-point game. So it looks like the defense that they're running on Sanders, exactly like you said, it doesn't matter where the rest of the defense is. They're going to man him up all the way down the court and just try to keep him from getting the ball.
And now Grove pushed out into a 2-3, so switching things up.
Pass down low, fouled hard as Hodgins gets 2 people up in the air, and we'll see who the foul's on. Foul's on number 11, Miller, who just checked in the game, but he's picked up his first foul of the game, and Hodgins goes back to the line. Hodgins off the front of the rim that time. Hodgins shooting his second. And his second's inning good. So now it's 34-23 with 5 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Miller takes the ball down for the Cardinals. Drives on Hodgins, shoots another floater. That's off the mark. And rebound Boomer. Boomer looking to take the ball fast down the court. And he's double teamed, dribbles out. Gets it to Kacheski. Kacheski, excuse me. Woo. Gets it to Boomer. Boomer gets it to Archer. Archer looking to drive. Looking to dish. Gets it to Kacheski at the high post. He puts up a shot. He's off the mark. I don't know if that was a shot or a pass. Hopefully it was a pass.
It was a shot. I think he got fouled. That's what he was wanting. He thought he could draw a foul, but no call there. And they're kind of letting him play this quarter.
That's Phillips out in the corner. Gets it down to Miller. Miller spins, and the shot's just off the mark, but he did draw the foul from Kagan Hodges. So now Hodges in for his third foul. So 3 fouls on Hodges, 3 fouls on Boomer, and all of a sudden Coach Anderson has a foul trouble on his hands.
And
Miller's first shot is in and good, and that brings it back to a 10-point game. So really tit for tat here for the between the Cardinals and the Grove Ridge Runners. Ridge Runners is hard to say sometimes.
They're going to have to make Kagan Hodges and Seth Boomer, they're going to have to start playing really smart with 3 fouls, 4 minutes left in the third. There's still a lot of game left.
And a 2-3 zone, some quick play by Archer, and Hodges tries to put it up, and he's drawing fouls. So they're getting the ball down low. You see Coach Anderson's reason for keeping Hodges in the game is he's just drawing fouls and making shots and drawing fouls and making free throws to keep this lead at 10.
I think that's the third time in the row in 3 straight offensive possessions that they've gone high post and then got it down to Hodges, and he's gone down and shot a layup there.
And you see a great pass there from Archer as he drives and kicks it right down low just between the defense to give Hodges the chance to draw that foul. And that's going to be a foul. That was a foul, on 21. That's Amos. That's his second of the game. Amos tries to drive, but he keeps picking up that 1 foot, and that's another travel. And Coach Trimble can't be happy with Amos so far tonight. He's been called for travel 3 times now as he tries to make his move.
Yeah, him and number 10, I believe it's Sanders, they both been played really physical tonight. Collinsville getting up in the grill of them, not letting them just think about everything they're going to do.
Ethan Davis down to Hodges. Hodges just off the mark. Rebound Amos. Amos looking to push the pace. He's 1 on 4 right now. Spins. Puts off a shot. That's off the front of the rim. Rebound Hodges. So Hodges making his stamp on the game on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. Boomer in the lane, and he's up and in and good. So Boomer with those 2 points extends the lead again, 38-25 with 3:15 left in the game, and Coach Trimble wants a timeout. So what's Coach Trimble telling his guys right now?
Well, Collinsville's easily breaking the 2-3 pushed out. They've been running, and you can hear from up here right now. He's not happy. Seth Boomer just able to split a double team, go in there and easily shoot a layup. And you don't see him miss those. Kagan Hodges getting open jump shots in the short corner. And offensively, the Cardinals are playing really well tonight. The second half, they haven't come out and made as many shots, but they're getting open looks. They're running their offense right, and that's good to see.
And we see another, just like in the girls' game, we see another set of physical play, and the refs are just making sure they call it tight. And there's a lot of fouls being called here. Mainly the ones that are bothersome are the 3 on Seth Boomer, and the 3 now on Kagan Hodges, and yet they stay out there. They're good offensive power, and we're running here in the third quarter hoping that they don't pick up another quick foul, and their night could be over pretty quick.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. Hopefully they can still stay smart defensively, but Kagan Hodges hitting his 2 free throws, so it shows why they can stay in the game. Kagan Hodges being a junior, Seth Boomer being a sophomore, but both get a lot of playing time, so they're pretty experienced.
And Coach Anderson continuing to frustrate Justin Sanders by keeping Ethan Davis on him the entire time down the court, not even letting him inbound the ball, or catch the inbound, excuse me. And Davis defended by Sanders. Sanders takes the dribble to the right. He takes it down the lane, and we have a quick foul there. It doesn't look like it's on Boom. Oh, nope, excuse me. That's on Ethan Davis as he came around the corner. And that's going to be, were they saying he's in the shooting motion? So it's 2 shots there for Sanders. Sanders, who struggled from the line tonight, he's made 1 of 4. But the second half seems to tell a different tale, as now he makes his first and makes this a 12-point game, as Riley Wilt checks in the game for Ethan Davis. Sanders' second is in and good, and that makes it an 11-point game in favor of Collinsville Cardinals with 3 minutes left to go in this third quarter.
And Grove still sticking to that 2-3 zone.
Big double team there on Archer, but we have a push. And that's on Miller. So Miller's now picked up his second. And Vickers back in the game, and Hodges will take a seat. Boomer with the inbound. Gets into Kacheski. Kacheski kicks out to Wilt. Wilt, cross-court pass to Archer. Archer dribbles down the lane, shoots a 2-point shot, and that's off the mark. Excuse me. Rebound. Ridge Runners. It's hard for me to say Ridge Runners tonight. I'm struggling with it. Amos kicks out to Phillips. Phillips with a long 3. That's off the mark. Rebound, Amos. Amos puts the shot up over Vickers, and that's in and good. And just like that, Hodges gets back up, and he's going to check back into the game. Boomer into Kacheski. Kacheski out to Wilt. Wilt down low to Boomer. Boomer takes the drive, and he puts it in and good over Amos. So getting that Amos-Boomer battle seems to come on offense, defense, and they're just battling back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, Boomer now has 4 points in the third quarter, and he's starting to find a rhythm.
Collinsville now has switched back to their 2-3 zone, trying to keep it out of the hands of Amos. Tries to get into Carlson. Vickers with some good defense, and he gets it up to Boomer. Boomer driving the lane, tries to pass it out to Kacheski, and he throws it off of Boomer, and that's going to be Ridge Runner ball. Vickers checks back, Hodgins checks in for Vickers. So Vickers with some good defense there, but nothing going there for the Cardinals on offense. They try and rush the ball a little bit. Sanders out to Phillips. Phillips gets up to Carlson. Carlson back to Sanders. Swings it up to Carlson. Carlson steps back, shoots a long 3. That's in and good. So that brings it to an 8-point game with a minute left to go in this first half. 40-32 for the Cardinals. And it looks like the Cardinals are going to go for the last shot here, as Boomer's just going to take his dribble and set up the offense. And a quick double team there from the Ridge Runners, and a turnover as Paulson takes it, gets it to Carlson. Carlson's off the mark. Rebound, Kacheski. Kacheski with a 3-on-1, passes it to Hodges. Hodges puts the shot up, gets the foul and the 2 points. So Hodges, who's been the offensive juggernaut for the Cardinals here in this second half, mainly from the free throw line, picks up 2 more points. Hodges picks up his 8th point, and he didn't have any in the first half, so 8 points in the second half. And that makes it 43-32 with 30 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Carlson gets it in to Pagel, gets it into Sanders, gets it into Amos. Amos turns down to Pagel. Pagel jumps, drives, gets it over Hodgins for 2 points.
Tough shot there.
And Boomer takes the ball down the court with 15 seconds left to go in this game. At the 10-second mark, gets it into Hodges, who's wide open down low. Full court shot. Back to Boomer, back to Hodges. Hodges takes an off-balance shot, but it's right back to Boomer, and he puts it in for 2. And the final shot's off the mark there for, Phillips. So at the end of 3, it's 45-34. Collinsville Cardinals. You're watching an exciting matchup between these two high school squads. It's Cardinal TV. We'll be back after this.
In as little as 12 months, with a diploma from Spartan College, you could have a career in aviation and beyond. At Spartan, you don't just study airplanes, you're surrounded by them. Some 40 at our flight campus, another 20 at our technology campus. This is a college where you can pilot planes, repair planes, learn everything there is to know about planes, inside and out.
And we're back at an exciting game, 45-34 here as we enter the fourth quarter. Logan Wilt, I'm Randall Dolan. Logan, tell me what happened in the first half. There was really a 2-minute offensive explosion there for the Cardinals. In the second half, as the Ridge Runners looked to shut them down, 2 more guys have really stepped up and shown the points in the third quarter. What happened?
So you had the first half, Riley Will and Austin Archer that were getting open 3-point looks, and they were knocking them down. This second half, they come out, and the Grove Ridge Runners really pressed out their 2-3 defense, and that's where you see Seth Boomer, who had 6 in the third quarter. He started attacking, and Kagan Hodges, who had 8. So doing a really good job at attacking off like a play like right there, attacking, and Seth Boomer will get a foul there. So they spread them out, and that's where they're finding the gaps, attacking and slipping. And they're doing a really good job.
So you're seeing Seth Boomer there. He gets it down to Hodges. Hodges is just off the mark, but Boomer with the rebound. So that's huge again. As he passes, he goes down, gets an offensive board, which really kills the Ridge Runners as they're trying to make up 11 points here in this fourth quarter. Boomer's free throws are good. That extends it. Now it's 47-34 here as they continue to frustrate Sanders and not letting him catch the inbound passes. Wilt was defending him now. Carlson with a long drive. He's off the glass and then in good. So good quick points there, quick transition points there for Carlson. Archer kicks it out to Hodges. Hodges gets it to Wilt. Wilt with Phillips all in his face, gets double teamed, tries to get it to Kacheski. Pagel steps in front of him, and a turnover there for the Cardinals.
The Ridge Runners are starting to go and do a little jump trap, and it's kind of flustered the Cardinals.
Sanders with the ball. He's trying to back down Kacheski, who slips and falls, and gets it to Carlson. Out to Phillips, out to Amos. Out to Carlson. Carlson will try 3, and that's in and good. So just 2 possessions down the floor, and it's back to an 8-point game, 47-39 with 6:45 left to go. Boomer into Kacheski. Back to Boomer. Swings it to Archer. Back into Kacheski. Kacheski takes a dribble, puts a shot off the mark. Rebound Hodges, and he's right there and in and good. So Hodges now has his 10th point of the game.
And we play a game called Tip 21, and it's where you have to, after a person shoots, you have to catch it before you hit the ground and go back up, and it's kind of looked like that recently. Cardinals attacking the offensive boards really well and getting a bunch of second chest points.
Sanders takes the ball, swings out to Pagel. Pagel tries to get it down low to Amos. Good defense by Wilt, but Amos finds it, and puts it in. So just off the fingertips of Wilt seemed to help Amos that time as he was able to put it in and keep it an 8-point game. And with 5:52 left to play, into Kacheski, into Wilt. Wilt out to Archer. Archer into Hodges. Hodges tries the baseline, and it looks like, I don't know if he called a foul there.
Yeah,
another foul there. Okay. I wasn't sure. It looked like Hodges may have stepped out, but that's another foul on, what do you say, 11? Sorry, foul on number 4. That's his third. That's Brady Phillips with his third. That's going to send Hodges to the line. Hodges has lived on the line here in this second half, or he's either making easy layups or you're fouling him. That's the only way they've been able to stop him this second half.
Yeah, and the Cards are in the bonus early in the fourth quarter.
Hodges makes his first of 2 and extends the lead to 9 again. Hodges' second shot's off the mark. Archer with the offensive rebound gets it into Hodges. Hodges takes another shot. That's off the mark. Rebound, Amos. Amos drives. And the official calls a foul there on Archer. Archer thought he got the ball, but it looks like the official saw it differently and saw he hit him in the arm. And Amos is going to go to the line. Looks like we have a timeout. That's a timeout from Coach Anderson. He wants to take a full timeout here and talk to his squad. What's he calling the timeout for here? With 5:30 left to go in this game, a 9-point game. What's the benefits? What's Coach Archer got to tell his squad?
Well, I think there's 2 things that he's not happy with, and we're kind of starting to force things offensively. We're double teamed and we're still going up, and then right there, that player drove the length of the floor and no one stepped in front of him, no one stopped him, and he got fouled. So he's not really happy with the effort right now.
So he's just looking to finish. He's pointing exactly what you said. He went from one side to the other. We see his hands going left and right. He's letting them know exactly what the defensive thing is, and he's telling them, hey, it's a 9-point game, but there's still plenty of time for them to come back. So as Grove looks to etch into this lead and really frustrate the Cardinals on defense, what do you look for them coming out of this timeout?
Well, they've got to really just come out, stay offensively. They have to stay patient, make sure they don't just come out, keep forcing shots, slow it down, and then defensively, they have to keep playing solid defense, help on the man, and just they have to attack the basket because being in the bonus, they want to keep drawing fouls.
All right, and we're coming out. We're going to see we're coming out to 2 shots here from Amos. And it looks like the Ridge Runners, I thought they weren't even playing for the rebound here. But it looks like they will. His first shot's in and good. That makes it an 8-point game, 50-42 with 5:31 left to go. And Amos' second is in and good as well. So it's a 7-point game, the closest it's been since halftime, as the Cardinals look to make sure that they seal this one. With 5.5 minutes left to go, it's 50-43 in favor of the home team Cardinals. Boomer with the quick drive. That's off the mark. And the rebound's everywhere. Archer looks to grab it. Archer's hit it 4 times now, but it actually gets out to Pagels. So the Ridge Runners, another chance to shorten this lead. Set to Phillips. Phillips to Pagels. Pagels to Amos. Amos with another 2 points. So Amos quickly got 16 points as he was silent in the first half, and they're really finding a way to get him the ball early in this fourth quarter. It's now a 5-point game, 50-45, favor of the Cardinals. Archer being double teamed, and we have a timeout by Coach Anderson.
Sean Kacheski grimacing out and limping. I don't know if his knee collided with another player, but he's grabbing his left knee.
Yeah, so down here we saw him trying to play tough defense there on Amos, and it looked like they may have just collided a little bit. Amos came up a little bit fired up, but he had a little bit of kick in his step. So it looks like that tough defense sometimes, bone hits bone, and you got to wonder how Coach Anderson looks to attack this zone here as he tries to shut this game down.
Hopefully Cardinals come out with some energy. They need something to get them going because Grove now, like you said, a 5-point lead, and it's closest it's been since the beginning of the game. So.
And Grove recently, now they've had an offensive explosion as they've been able to get to the line. They've been able to get their 3-point shots. They've been able to get their 2-point shots. And you look, as you see Grove, they had 17 points in the first half. Now they have 45, so they've really found something in that Collinsville defense that they want to attack. Archer attacking. He's shoved as he shoots, and he's off the mark. But he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that looks like that's another foul on Phillips. And that's his 4th. Archer's first is in and good and extends it to a 6-point lead. Archer looks to take his second. That's up and off the mark, but a tough rebound by Vickers as he gets the ball into Hodges. Hodges gets it out to Boomer. And the Cardinals get another chance at offense due to some tough play there and down low from Vickers.
And Grove back to a 2-3.
Hodges up to Boomer. Hodges turns into Vickers. Vickers with an easy lay-in and his first 2 points of the game.
And that's good high-low offense right there.
So just like that, it's now back to an 8-point game here for the Cardinals as they had 2 offensive attempts down there. With 4 minutes left in the game. Try to get Amos down on the block. Amos turns, shoots, he's off the mark. Another rebound, Vickers gets it into Boomer. Boomer looks to drive quick, gets it into Archer. Archer with the quick lay-in, and it's back to a 10-point game. So back-to-back shots makes it a 10-point game, and the Cardinals are excited and jump off their bench as Coach Trimble is not having any of that. He calls a quick timeout to try and contain this game.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Cardinals have to do offensively. One of the keys to the game, transition buckets. They were driving out. They got a transition bucket there. Austin Archer with the finish. So that's a good job by them to get the force Grove to call a timeout as they extend the lead to 10.
And as we look at the offensive production for the Cardinals, we have 20 points for Austin Archer, 12 points for Riley Wilt, 10 points for Boomer, 2 points now for Vickers, who just checked in the game. We have and 11 points now for Kagan Hodges. So you see kind of an even distribution. I mean, Archer's obviously gone off and really contributed in this game on both sides. We see starting to be some even distribution. If you're the Ridge Runners, who do you look to stop at this point?
Well, in a 2-3 zone, you have to force them to take quick shots, and on the perimeter, you're really trying to force a turnover, but they're allowing it to get in the high post really easy, and that's where the 2-3 defense breaks down. So they just have to make sure that in a 2-3 zone, they have to make sure it does not get into the high post.
And we can see the Ridge Runners offense is just going to go through Amos as they just keep trying to get him down low to get him to take that post shot. So if you're Coach Anderson, how are you going to let them defend him?
Well, you've got, as a guard, you've just got to play physical with him because he is a bigger guard. They have Kagan Hodges on him right now, and he plays post a lot. He's a hybrid, so going to try and be real physical with him and not let him catch the ball down low.
And the Ridge Runners taking a lot of time off the clock here as they set up their offense and try to get the shot they want. Quick 3-shot from Carlson's off the mark. Good box out by Hodges, and that's a rebound for the Cardinals, and they'll take the ball down the court with 3:15 left to go in this game. Boomer with some swift moves, takes it right down the lane. He's just off the mark, gets his own rebound, but he gets fouled by Pagels. So Boomer misses the shot, stops, pulls the ball right back, and he's able to put try to attempt the lay-in, and he gets fouled again.
He's doing a really good job. I know he's not happy because he's not finishing many layups, but he's doing a great job at getting offensive rebounds and allowing himself some second chance points.
And that foul was on number 10. I'm sorry, Sanders, not Pagels, is what they ended up calling. So that's his second of the night. And Boomer with that shot makes it a 12-point game again, 57-45 in favor of the Cardinals with 3 minutes left to go in this game. Sanders takes the ball down the court, gets it out to Phillips. Phillips swings to Miller, who's just checked in the game. Now for Pagels. Sanders swings to Phillips, trying to get it down low to Amos, and you see Coach Anderson's change of keeping Hodges on Amos. Amos with a quick rebound, though, and Hodges now picks up his 4th foul as he tries to defend Amos. So Hodges playing good defense, but just didn't have the position on the post. And so now he's picked up his 4th foul and made it a 10-point game, a chance now Amos has to make it a 9-point game.
Yeah, he was trying to box him out, but the ball kind of fell right into Amos's hands.
And Amos misses his shot, so it's still a 10-point game, 57-47 as Boomer takes the ball down the court for the Cardinals, and they have the lead. Boomer has just been driving all over this defense here in the second half. Drives again, makes his next shot, and he's got 14 all of a sudden.
And 12 coming in this second half.
So if you're Coach Trimble, are you going to continue to try and full court press Boomer, or is just driving right in front and just making layup after layup?
Well, right now they can't have turnovers on the offensive end because that's going to be their chance, and they haven't shown that they can stop us on the defensive end. Collinsville with 59 points, so they're just going to have to dig deep and start playing solid defensively, or they're not going to have a chance with 2 minutes left.
And it looks like the Ridge Runners have now switched to man coverage to try and keep that from happening as they try to trap Hodges. He makes a quick pass. Vickers, good handle on it. Archer turns, takes a shot from the stripe. He's off the mark. Rebound, Carlson. Carlson takes the ball on the court. Gets into Sanders. Sanders is going to try a 3 now. He's off the mark. Rebound, Vickers. And Boomer with the ball. He'll take it down the court for the Cardinals. Carlson with a quick foul there. As Carlson picks up his second and Boomer tries to drive.
So Boomer will go to the line for 2 free throws. And, yeah, you're going to see Grove start to foul down by 12 points with 1:39 left. They're going to have to pray that they have some missed free throws. The Cardinals start missing free throws, which they haven't done all night. They've been pretty solid at the free throw line.
And just like that, just like you said, Boomer makes that, and that makes it 60 points for the Cardinals. He goes for a second of 2 shots. It's up and in and good. So it's 61-47 here with 1:39 left to go, and Sanders has the ball down the court for the Ridge Runners. Sanders has the ball up the top. Swings it to Amos. Gets it to Carlson. Carlson's going to try a 3. That's in and out, but a good rebound by Miller. Miller turns, swings, shoots. That's off the mark. Rebound, Boomer. And there's a scramble for the ball as Amos has it, but Vickers going for the ball. Looks like he fouled him. And that's going to send Amos to the line now to shoot a 1-and-1. Yeah, I was just making sure that foul was on Vickers. That's his second now. And really the one thing you don't want to do if you're Collinsville right now is have them get free points with the clock stopped.
Yeah, you have to make sure you can't foul. And that'll be a foul on number 11, and so Kagan Hodges will come down and shoot 2 free throws. But you can't bail out Grove. They've kind of struggled offensively to score, and so you can't let them go to the line and get easy buckets.
And Hodges, who's just really made a name for himself so far in the second half. He's got 11 points. He's been all over the court offensive and defensively. And he's off the mark this time, but he's looking to add to his 11-point game as he's really had a breakout game and really came out with some good development offensive and defensively for the Cardinals. Second shot's in and good. Now he's got a 12-point game and makes it 62-47 with 1:15 left to go in the game. It looks like for the first time tonight, the Cardinals are going to let Sanders actually get the inbound pass. As you see, they just want to come and set up their good zone defense. Stamper checks into the game now for Hodges. Sanders travels as he tried to beat the double team. So good double team there by the 2 first half favorites, Archer and Wilt. As they both double team, make Sanders have to take a little extra step there. And another turnover there for the Ridge Runners.
So now you're just going to see the Cardinals try and dribble out the rest of the time unless Grove's going to foul.
Doesn't look like Carlson's looking to foul. Boomer kicks out to Stamper, gets into Archer. Archer gets it in to Wilt. Wilt takes his dribble, gets it back to Archer. Archer looking to drive, gets it to Boomer. 39 seconds left in this game. Boomer's going to drive, puts up a floater. That's off the mark, but a good putback by Vickers. And that 21 jump game you were talking about seems like Vickers doesn't do too bad in it as he put that right back up, fighting through a defender. And a good rebound there by Vickers. They're going to call a jump ball. And you could hear from up here, there was some big collision there. You hear some bones hitting bone from these guys, and they're both still battling, even though it's 64-47 with 21 seconds left in this game. Quick rebound, inbound into Amos. He's off the mark. Vickers with the rebound. Gets it cleared to Boomer, and it looks like with the Ridge Runners just conceding right there, that's going to be the end of the game. 10 seconds left to go as Boomer takes the ball across the court. And the Collinsville Cardinals, who've played an amazing season so far. You mentioned they've got good standing here. They played the Oologah tournament. They lost by 2 to a tough team, and they got third actually in that tournament. So you're looking for some big things out of the men and women. And they finish off the game 64-47 with some good offensive production from some guys who have been more defensive players in the past. What happened here?
Yeah, well, against the 2-3 zone, Collinsville has good enough shooters where they're able to get guys open and knock down shots, and you saw that tonight. So more weapons for Collinsville is what a lot of teams are seeing now with Riley Wilt stepping up, Austin Archer. Kagan Hodges had, I believe, double digits. Seth Boomer had double digits. So I believe the Cardinals had 4 guys in double digits, and you don't see that very often. Offensively, everyone's sharing the ball, everyone getting their part in it.
All right, we'll go to commercial one more time, and we'll come back and recap this score. We're with Cardinal TV.
In as little as 12 months, with a diploma from Spartan College, you could have a career in aviation and beyond. At Spartan, you don't just study airplanes, you're surrounded by them. Some 40 at our flight campus, another 20 at our technology campus. This is a college where you can pilot planes, repair planes, learn everything there is to know about planes, inside and out.
And we're back at Collinsville High School. I'm Randall Dolan. This is Logan Wilt with me. Logan, tell me what happened in the girls and guys game and what the outcome is and what that means for the rest of the season for this Collinsville squad.
Well, the Cardinals moved to 8-4. That's more wins than they had all last year. So it's a huge accomplishment. I know the Cardinals are really happy with how they've been playing. So they played pretty well offensively tonight, really well offensively, and defensively they played pretty well too, to the man. And so not a lot of things to be disappointed in. Coming into the game, keys to the game were transition buckets, and you saw at times Collinsville was running out, starting to get some momentum off that. Another one was limit turnovers, which they did a decent job in. Against the zone, they did really well, getting it to the high post, making them collapse, and then were able to swing it out to open shots or slip it down to Kagan Hodges on the post, things like that. And then last was limit second shot opportunities for Grove, and they did a really good job at that. You saw them always getting a body on someone, boxing them out. And so, for the most part, a really good game, and they'll travel to Tahlequah Friday and a chance to move to 9-4.
All right, so join us on Friday as we root the Cardinals on and try to broadcast from Tahlequah, you said, and as they try to push it to 9-4 and have their best successful season, at least in a couple of years there. And we see both the girls and guys team clicking on all cylinders. Thanks for joining us tonight. You're watching Cardinal TV. We'll be back on Friday.